So the red card on the burpees, I do believe that he should have gotten a red card. I think that watching hands going too far in front, I do believe that he was overstretching that. So I even told Cole, I said, look, in two veins, as a human being, I was like, this is really unfortunate. I'm upset that you got disqualified. As an athlete, I said, well, that makes it a little bit easier for me. There was a mistake from the MC where he said that we had to do 5 lanes of burpees. So you see him get confused on the way out and be like, am I going back? And then they tell him to go. So if you go watch that, you'll see that. Well, apparently he had asked his judge, do I have 4 or 5? And he said that she told him that, hey, you're supposed to know that. Well, that's a terrible answer, in my opinion.
Well, I'm on Luke's side now, anyway. From now on,
now you know how close that relationship
Luke's our boy.
is. Yeah,
dude. Actually, you know what? Hey, me and Luke we have the same agent. So when he came on and everything, I was like, I told my agent, whose name is Bajan, I was like, yo, we need to sign Luke. Like, I want to get him on the team. He's going to be a great addition. Like, so we've got a heck of a squad because like our agency has it's me, Alyssa, Luke, Vivian, like a pretty big tier of names in the sport. And we really intend on taking over. So
What, have you ever?
So I'm definitely Team Luke.
You ever thought about doubles with Luke, just for like the bands?
Yeah, we've talked about it. The only reason that we haven't done it is just one, it hasn't made sense logistically or for the season. Yeah. Like once they made it to where like your doubles partner has to be your same nationality for Worlds. It made it to where it was like, well, if creating this team doesn't make sense. Like it makes sense for him and Harry to race together, and then me and Steven to continue. We'll probably do one eventually. Like
just for fun. Yeah,
I don't see why not. Like if it lines up, we definitely should. But yeah,
it's
so
running.
Actually, I don't.
It's running at the moment though. It's just like exceptional, isn't it? The way he just takes out. It's just crazy.
Dude, he starts at the front, doesn't he? Now, pretty much.
Crazy.
Yeah, he does. He does this little thing where like the first 50 to 100 meters, he sits back and then he's like, and now I'll move. Like he just makes sure that he just makes sure that nobody like trips him up, pushes him around. Like I've been standing because I stand at the very back because I'm like, I'm not going out as fast as any of you guys and I don't feel like getting tripped. So I stayed at the very back and I've seen him stand like near the back and I'm like, I look at him like, what are you doing here, Luke? He's like, I'll find the front. I'm like, okay, go do your thing. Like we'll meet back up eventually, I hope.
That's cool.
But yeah,
what do you feel like in that tunnel? Do you feel in any way like intimidated or motivated? Because I think if it was me, I'd feel a lot of imposter syndrome, just personally. But you're very confident. So how do you feel in that moment?
I've been doing it for so like let's say the first World Championships I did in Leipzig. When we went to the athlete meeting and I saw everybody, like I started sweating because like adrenaline just like I was just sweating because I was so hyped up. And it was that same thing. It was definitely, so the first couple of years it was imposter syndrome because I was a hit or miss racer. Like sometimes I'd have good days, sometimes I've had bad days. I could win, but I couldn't win against the best competition. And then over the last couple of years, it's transitioned into like I feel very calm. I'm pretty relaxed in the tunnel. Like I'm more likely to be cracking jokes and like just dicking around than I am worried about, being super serious or anything. The seriousness doesn't even come until, I don't know, 20 seconds before the race starts. And then I'll just be like, let's get a couple deep breaths, lock in, you got your race plan, let's go. But even that kind of changes.
I'm quite similar when I come to racing.
Yeah.
And I think it comes with like you've just had a kid and stuff, and it comes with like a level-headed nature of being humble in the sport. That like you've done everything you can before it, so you arrive on race day you've got all the armory to do well. It doesn't matter how nervous I get; that's not going to help. It's like lock in. But 20 seconds before you go, crap, we're here now. Okay, big breath, let's go.
I'd love that. I'm panicking.
Yeah, Brad gets a bit nervous, I think.
Panic. Yeah, I think my heart rate on the starting line is something like 130. Just stood still. Stood still. Like I'm not anxious.
I think it could shift a little bit. Like say I was coming off an injury or something like that. I think now if you start to have like these doubting questions as opposed to what you said, like, hey, I've done everything I could do. If you come in and you go, well, I've done everything I could do to the capacity I could do it, but I'm definitely not where I want to be at right now. And I'm kind of worried about how this is going to go. Now those can start to those can start to spiral out of control. But then you come back to, and I think you said just the thing about having a kid and everything, like go back and recenter yourself on your actual priorities in life. And because you sit there and you run through this and you go, okay, wait a minute. What is the worst thing that happens to me if I have a bad race today? I have a bad race today.
Yeah.
And then it ends. And then you're like, well, my wife doesn't leave me and my son doesn't hate me and we're not broke and I'm still healthy. And like you break all that down and you go, oh, well, shit, I had a bad race. And I can figure out, I've had bad races before, I can figure out how to get out of that hole. So I think it's really good to have one and have also finished dead last because I've done both. And when you've done both, you know how to go and deal with both situations, and that just makes the whole experience so much more calm. So I'm standing in the start tunnel and I'm just maybe talking to anybody who might want to talk. And if nobody's talking, I'm just kind of chilling and standing at the back. And then, we get ready for the lights to come up and I just step in, get my deep breaths. I'm like, all right, your plan, let's get to work.
I've always likened that moment to the start of a really scary roller coaster. Because it's the countdown and it's just the intensity. It feels like you're on a ride.
Yeah,
it does to me anyway. So,
I'm gonna a quick question. Sponsorships. You have obviously sponsors.
Yeah.
Do you want to give them a bit of a shout out? Do you want to give us a bit of a lowdown on who you have and stuff?
Well, we would really love to know what it's like. I guess the bits you wouldn't know when you're someone like Nike, for example. What's the relationship like? What responsibilities do you have?
There's a little rumor as well. I heard a little rumor you had a prototype shoe in the race.
Yeah, it's right over there, and it's over.
He said, "Oh yeah, it's not a big deal, guys."
Yeah, I'll be honest, my neck did just start itching, but that does look like Yeah, so it's been really cool working with them. So the companies that I'm with right now are Nike. I'm with Koros, and I was with my protein, and we're like talking deals right now. So my nutrition sponsorship's up in the air. But those are my like three main sponsors, and
that's random. The one that my protein is that big in America?
No, not at all. They were in Hyrox.
Yeah, Rogue from I guess you'd think you'd have a big American one.
Yeah, so no, we'll keep that on the down low. We're working that kind of stuff and figuring things out. So I don't know where that quite stands at. But we'll get that sorted.
I'm sure Nick Bear can sort you out.
That is in the conversation.
There we go.
Yeah, it's been fun because I literally I trust my agent with a lot of the stuff, and he goes and gets everything together, and then we sit down and talk through the pros, cons, all that kind of thing.
A random one, a bit of a quick caveat. I did Nice Ironman World Championships last year, and there was a dude from Nick Bear. He was supported by Nick Bear.
His name's Luke Hopkins.
I was riding next to him on one of the climbs. He started he started way before me, and I rode past him. And I was like, you give him a quick how you doing? And he's like, dying on the climb. It was quite funny, but he seems cool.
I'll tell you this, the biggest bump that I had in Instagram followers was beating Nick Bear in the 2024 Dallas Hyrox. He posted a story and I was tagged in it, and somebody sent me a message and they said, you're about to get 15,000 followers. And then over the next day, it was just
Class.
But so all that said, what's been cool with Nike the most has been so one of the things with Nike is they are very big on listen to the athlete. So with the prototype shoe that I raced in, this was the second iteration of it that they had done with me. So this has been over. So I signed with them formally in January, but I had been signed with them since November, but the whole thing didn't come out till January. So during that time we were working on a prototype shoe, and they sent me the first version of the prototype shoe, and I hated it. I was like, this has no pop in it. The grip's not good. They had made an overlay on the shoe. I cut it off with scissors and sent it back to them. And I was like, I don't like this at all. And I was like, we have the directions wrong. You're trying to make a running shoe for CrossFit is what you're doing. But what I need is you're trying to make a CrossFit shoe that runs. I want a running shoe that can do a little CrossFit, flip it. So we had a meeting they flew me out to headquarters, which was amazing to go visit. And we had a big meeting. We sat down, we talked about all this kind of stuff. And dude, when I tell you they listened to the athlete, The next pair of shoes they put in my hands was this like prototype.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is amazing. This feels like a Metcon, like a Metcon-ish stability, but with
Yeah.
basically an alpha fly, and
No
then they
way.
upped the grip on it. And I was like, dude, the only thing we need to do is make this a little lighter. It was a bit heavy. It was weighing in at
Because
like,
Metcons are they're quite solid, aren't they?
yeah. Metcon, you drop it on the floor, sounds like drop a brick.
Yeah. Now I'm a big
So
Nike junkie. Like everybody uses, like, I mean, obviously coaching people, they're always like, oh yeah, you got to try the Pro 4s, you got to try the new Meta Speeds, you got to try all this. And I'm like, dude, I love my Vaporfly, I love my Alpha Fly, I love my Streak Flies, I love my Streak Flies. I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah. So basically in the meantime, because I wanted to race in the prototype in Poland at Warsaw, and they're like, no, we can't let you. It's not like to that point yet. So I was like, well, do this for me. Can you take the alpha flies and re-grip them? Like retread them with this tread. And so they went and did that for me, and I raced in the retreaded alpha flies. And I was like, perfect, these will work for now. And then we got to Worlds, and they were like, you can use the prototype shoe. So they gave me some. If you look at the photos between me and Lauren's got a pair on that's got like red and everything on them. They had like these fresh kind of redone ones, and I was like, nah, I want the old, like the ones I've been training in. Like I'm gonna go in those. So they're the ones that even look more bare bones.
Yeah.
And they're not like a finished product for what's going to be out there, because they're still, like I said, they're a little heavy. They're about 11 ounces, which is a bit much for a racing shoe, but they provided like the responsiveness that you want, the grip that you want. They're pretty damn stable. And I was like, dude, if we can just shed some weight on these, they're going to be a really, really competitive shoe in this market. But it all came from them listening to all the athletes that they sent it to. And I just really could tell from iteration 1 that I was like taking scissors to and saying, dude, I won't race in these.
Confidence to do that.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing was, like, it does sound, the confidence to do that. That's what they want.
No,
They didn't bring me in for me to be like, hey guys, you're doing a great job. Let me shake everybody's hand and pat you on the back. They wanted to hear everywhere that they fucked up. And then when they did good, they wanted to hear, guys, you have done a great job. Like, that's what innovators want. They want somebody that can be critical enough to not just be a dick, but critical to the point where they point them in the right direction. And they have to trust, which they trusted me as an athlete to understand the real needs for the sport.
Yeah, you were like considered in your critical like feedback. Yeah, that's what they want.
Exactly. And that's like, for a brand to do that, for somebody like me, I was like, this is incredible that they listened. Like that was what was so cool and humbling to me. I was like, oh my God, I have a voice in Nike. Like that's wild. So I think that's one of the, yeah, they should probably listen to old Kip a little more than me.
If you could control your recovery, you would. And that's why A1 Physique's protein coffee comes packed with types 1 and 3 collagen, essential for repairing those tendons and ligaments that you damage during your intense exercise. Grab it from the website, use code AskTheCoach, and you'll get 20% off your very first order.
But that's maybe one of the inside things that you guys is the actual process of getting...
we wouldn't know. Yeah, we just think, people don't know that stuff. People don't know what goes into it necessarily. They just see the shoe.
I wasn't sure if they just stuck a night tick on your head and then just said race and we'll pay you. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to see you've got this dynamic where there's a science-based effort to make something better for you. When they
release that, it's going to sell more than any shoe in Hyrox space, I think. Like Nike, it's Nike in it,
I'm excited for it because a lot of people keep asking me, and like they're gonna have the same, they'll have like 3 product line kind of levels where they'll have like your trainer sort of shoe, then they'll have your intermediate, and then they'll. So I haven't done much with the more lower level shoe. I think it's called the Hybrid Run is going to be the name of it. So I haven't done much with that shoe, so I can't speak to that well. But the Hybrid Fly is what I was in. So, I don't know. It's just been a really cool process.
Yeah. If you want to race fast, you need the Hybrid Fly.
Yeah.
Dylan, while we've got you still, I just wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions about the actual race itself, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's go.
So, you're not a massive controversy guy. But there was a bit in the most recent World Championships which we could talk about. There was that early disqualification for Colern. There was a card for Hunter which was rescinded, and then there was. I think Tim Venus is still racing because he didn't even throw the last wall ball, so I don't know what's going on there. But like, I'm really curious because, especially talking to you today, I can see you're extremely level-headed. Where what your thoughts are about that?
Yeah. So what's and a little more like deeper into it. So we have what's called the Elite Working Group, which is a group of athletes, coaches that are it's Elite 15 athletes and coaches of Elite 15 athletes that have been voted on by the athletes to represent the group. They work with Hyrox, with Matt Locke, the director of sport, and we talk about all these kind of things. So if once a race happens, we meet on a monthly basis. We'll end up meeting a little bit later this month. We're going to talk about all the controversies that happen, all the rule issues, the things that were enforced, the things that weren't enforced, what we won't change going forward, and that kind of goes full circle to really try to refine the sport. So looking at this, we've talked about some of these things post worlds already. And like we can start with the beginning with Cole Learn's disqualification.
Yeah.
A DQ's a DQ. It was in the rule book, and it's unfortunate. So I even told Cole, I said, look, in two veins, as a human being, I was like, this is really unfortunate. I'm upset that you got disqualified. As an athlete, I said, well, that makes it a little bit easier for me. To be honest, I did, because I'm like, dude, you're really good. And when you got disqualified, I was like, that is one less person to deal with. But from the human side of things, I'm like, that's a long flight to take and a whole lot of training. And that's a heartbreaking moment. The problem is it's in the rule book. And so they have to follow by that. I feel like the rule book is law. And we had a couple things earlier in the season where it hadn't been followed that way. And this was in like March, the meeting we had in March with the group. And we were all adamant, like, hey guys, stop getting away from what the rule book says. Stop saying, well, we had this happen, and so we kind of made this, like, stop doing that. That really undermines the legitimacy of things. If it's written in the rule book, that is what happens, and that's how it needs to be enforced.
That sounds fair.
And so that's what we wanted. And you started seeing that. And there was a lot of people that were unhappy about it. They were like, why are we getting disqualified, or a 2-minute, this or that? Fucking rule book, read it. Like, that's
true though. Yeah.
No, it is.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Do you think it's that different to so Tim didn't throw the last wall ball, or it didn't connect, right? So what,
Yeah.
But he wasn't disqualified, didn't have to go back. It's just a set. So it feels like there's a really harsh penalty for one. Do you know what I mean? And then a soft one.
I agree.
Okay.
100% agree. That is a mismanagement of the penalty applications within the rule book.
Good.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
So
Is Tim's, what happened to Tim an actual
15
rule?
second
Is it a
penalty,
rule? Is that just one of the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the rules.
Yeah.
So like if I could go in there and pull up the Hyrox rule book just so that I'd be 100% correct, but there's like you get a penalty for a certain number of reps that you might have missed at the wall balls, but then below a certain threshold, it's a DQ. Yeah. So like if you left 5 reps early, I think it would be a DQ. But I think that's crazy, in terms of like, if you think about the actual impact on the race. 1 meter versus 1 rep. Well, that's already, a differential of like 1 meter takes that long. 0.2 of a second is basically what it comes down to at our pace. 1 rep at the wall balls is about 2.2 seconds or so. So like, you've already got something that's 10x the magnitude punishment, or like 10x the difference in timing, but the magnitude of punishment is 15 seconds here or you go home.
Yeah, it feels wrong, a mismatch. You're right.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. And so that's why it looked like people look at it and they're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And so that's something that needs to be fixed in some way, shape, or form. But again, I looked at it and said, it's the rule book. Tim gets 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that you guys get to have an impact, though. So you'll meet later this month and you'll potentially vote on that changing, or try and influence that change, I guess.
Yeah. We've gone in and had like rules that, so there was a rule. There's been one rule that it's like, if you touch the row handle before your feet are in the thing, it's a 15-second penalty. So that's going away. It's that you can touch the row handle as long as you're sitting on the rower. And so the question is, why was that ever in the rules to begin with? The reason they wanted people on the rower before they touched the row handle was so that the rowers couldn't be grabbed and pulled out of position and like accidentally jostled around. Because like if somebody comes in, they haven't sat down, they grab the row handle real quick, and then they pull the rower. Now the rower like shoots back 3 feet or something. They were doing it for injury, but then they were like, well, the feet don't have to be in the straps to stop it from moving. Your butt just has to be on the seat. So why have we been given penalties for feet not being in straps? So like they've tried to go through and look at, okay, where do we get safety and common sense to overlap? And that's the reason for some of the different rules.
I just love the fact that they're open with that, because it almost would be, that's the rules, forget it. But they're really open with the sort of logistics of how they've come to those original rules and allowing you to evolve it, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's evolving with the sport though.
Yeah.
Probably the speed of the sport as well, because obviously you're all going so much faster that actually these things have to move.
Yeah, and I mean it's even to the point that like some of the reason they don't want people trying to do a wall ball running and then running back is because we're getting to the point where people are finishing in quick succession.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, if somebody turns, throws it, runs back, we're going to start having collisions.
Yes.
And even if it's a low chance of happening, the last thing you want is one person misses a wall ball, they run back, another person runs, they hit knees, somebody fucks their leg up, and it's like, we didn't need this to happen. So it's not as clear cut as it always seems as to like why things.
The problem is with Hyrox is there's so many variables.
Variables are
so many variables. Every station, obviously, apart from every station, apart from the runs, because the runs are pretty straightforward, but every station involves so many things, that can go wrong. Like and even the lunges and the burpees, like they're changing all the time. People are doing them quicker. You have to move with the sort of adaptation that people are doing in the burpees, and it's
the techniques this year in the burpees. There were so many different ones.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's hard to make one rule, isn't it?
It's and I mean, like, so you were bringing up Hunter and everything that went on with him. So like, I can speak to that. I can speak to a couple of things on that. So like the red card on the burpees. I do believe that he should have gotten a red card. I think that watching hands going too far in front, I do believe that he was overstretching that. And I mean, the thing is, like, when you're going really hard, you can barely tell sometimes. You think that you're doing things right. Like, I know there's a lot of comments like, oh, Hunter likes to ride on the line and do this and do that. Dude, he probably thought he was doing it right, know? And from what he said about his judge, he said that his judge was kind of uncooperative. So there was a mistake from there's a lot of things in here. There was a mistake from the MC where he said that we had to do 5 lanes of burpees. So you see him get confused on the way out and be like, am I going back? And then they tell him to go. So if you go watch that, you'll see that. Well, apparently he had asked his judge, do I have 4 or 5? And he said that she told him that, hey, you're supposed to know that. Well, that's a terrible answer, in my opinion. Because one,
the MC moment as well.
That's not. I was like, well, that sucks. Because one, the MC had told us we had 5, and I was pretty sure we had 4 as well. Well, I asked my judge the same thing. I said, hey, he said 5. Don't we have 4? My judge didn't say, well, you should know that. My judge said, no, you only have 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I was giving confirmation. Your judge should be giving you confirmation of things to help you complete the task properly. In my opinion,
support his case that she almost had a point there to sort of
if
be against you almost.
Now I have to base it on a he said she said thing.
Yeah.
So I have to take it that's what was said. But if that is what was said, I disagree with that, and I think that your judge should have been like, "Oh, the MC just said 5. Let me make sure that my athlete knows that he was given incorrect information." The other one, the red card that got called back on the lunges.
Yeah.
So I'm also not a big believer that like Hyrox is out to get Hunter. They wanted to fail, whatever. So if you watch the replay back, it's when he's starting his length on the way back. His judge is standing off his back shoulder and can't see the line perfectly in front of his foot. So from that angle, it looks like his toe is standing on the white. All right. And so if your toe is over that white line, you're starting above, that's penalty. Well, Jakob, who's one of the head judges, who I've known for years, he's standing with a front-facing view a little bit to the side. He can see that there's this little sliver of black space in between. And so you watch him go over to the judge, say, hey, what was that for? He was standing on the line. Go back to the VAR team and go, hey, I had a different angle. I want you to review this because I believe that he actually had space there. And then that's when they looked at it and said, no, he does have space. Take the red card back. So... And the way I know this is all coming from the director of sport, Matlock, because we're on that call together. And he explained to us why that even happened, because we were talking through all the different things. So you see that there, and that's where I go, Hyrox isn't trying to like screw this guy over. They literally stepped in and was like, hey, we're going to overturn your judge's call because her angle was just slightly off. And she thought you were in the wrong, but you're in the right. Here you go. And when you know these things as the backstory to it, you have a lot more understanding of the circumstances, and you don't just go, oh, this, they wanted it to go a certain way.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think anyone wants anyone to like lose or be, or like injustice against anyone. I do think Hunter might create his own problems sometimes.
He's got a big mouth, Hunter, hasn't he?
I
Dude,
feel like, but I don't
you
think
attract a lot of you attract a lot of attention,
yeah,
and that has been a very good thing in terms for the sport at times, because it's
sponsorships
like,
and
hey,
everything. Yeah,
dude, let's tune in, let's see the bad guy,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and all that kind of stuff. But all that said, yeah, I think he's created more problems than are actually there. But
yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time, like, he's one of the people who I'll never be friends with, but I don't care to be enemies, is the kind of deal.
Yeah,
That's how I
like
see
it's
it.
just we're not going to go to the pub and have a beer, but we don't hate
Dude,
each other. Yeah,
no, not at all. I hope your races go fine. I hope your
yeah.
life is good. I don't have any problems with you. We may have like dusted up in the past, but dude, if we hate each other, it's for no fucking reason.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah, yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are all the things that were the only controversy I don't really have much understanding on or could give any more input to is the wall ball issue with Charlie's camera thing.
Yeah. Well,
did he got 7 seconds back or
It
something?
broke, didn't it, or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, the camera fell down in front of the wall target, and they had to try to get it to go back up. And during that time frame, they deemed it was 7 seconds. But that's one where you look at it and you go, well, rule book, you're like, we don't have rules for camera fell in front of the thing. We could try to make an estimation of what that cost you.
Yeah.
Quite a random one as well, isn't it?
Yeah. But again,
it's
there's so many variables, it's so complex.
But there is
you
a
can't
precedent
see it.
now, so if it happens
Yeah,
again,
it happens again,
yeah,
they'll
got a
have to-
precedent.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that I took from it, because like Louis Oslander, he could have been world champion. He lost to me by technically 15 seconds or so, 15.4. Well, he had a 15-second penalty. So if you watch, like me and him finished wall balls, bang bang. You never hear Louis talk about his penalty. He didn't say a word about it. I talked to him about it, and he was like, dude, it was kind of tough. I think it was a bit of a strict penalty. But the thing that he said out of it was, that might have been my bad luck. Everybody had some kind of bad luck in this race. And if I discount my bad luck, I have to discount everyone's bad luck. And we don't know what the results would be.
You're like Sled, like you could have been in the lead. You know what I mean? But if you were in the lead,
agree.
Would you
have reacted the way you did? Would you have gone, okay, let's go? It's one of them, isn't it? It's just the way
it really is. So it's just one of those things where you go, that was my share of bad luck that day.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have to eat it for what it is. And I appreciate guys that do that. But then the big thing is you need to go back wherever that, misfortune happened at. If it's something that you believe is preventable or should be changed, you go back and work with the organization to make it better. And you're like, how do we fix this? As opposed to just outwardly like bashing and criticizing stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't fix it. That just, that just makes a sob story for your case. Hopefully people buy it. And then if they don't, you just look like an ass. So like,
and he's just slamming the sport,
Yeah.
like slamming the sport and everything. And it's just, it never works out well. It's good perspective.
Yeah. So
Dylan, I could probably talk to you forever. I'm conscious that you don't have an unlimited amount of time.
No.
I've got kind of one final question before I let
dude,
you
we're good.
go.
Like if you've got a couple of questions, I'm good with going long. I'm having a great time.
Okay,
I'm
mate,
just
that's
I'm resting in between sessions. I've got time. The only thing I might have to do is go grab a charger. So we're straight. What you got?
I wanted to ask you whether, and then you can do this playfully or if you were being more serious, but if you could change something about that race, what do you think it would be? So, there might be something in your repertoire that's weak for you, thinking, just bin that off. But more seriously, if you could change anything about the Hyrox event, what would that be?
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think a better event could have been created for somebody like me.
Brilliant. Okay.
Like, I really don't. Like, I don't know of anything that you could put in there that it suddenly makes it much better for me, where I'm like, there might have been times in the past where I would have thought, but they were just such weaknesses and I've fixed them now. Like, I used to just be terrible at wall balls. And I was like, God, if we had...
You went unbroken, right?
Yeah, I went unbroken. And like... But
how
I used to
be... fix that?
That's insane.
Dude, so... I mean, first off, a lot of runners coming from that background just have really bad ankles. They have bad ankle mobility. They can't get into good positions.
Forward, aren't they?
You pronate a lot. don't you? You pronate a lot, and I look at you and I'm like, dude, this guy, like, how is he so quick? Because he's like,
dude, these ankles are slack. They just fly
He's
all over
all
the
in,
place.
man.
So it wasn't just me that came for you, Dylan. All right, Dan's had his fair share.
I just see it. I'm like, dude, that form, how is he running so quick?
I don't, bro. You should see. There's a picture. I was running the Mizuno Wave Rebellion. And those things I'm talking. That's like running on stilts. And I'll send you the picture of it.
Yeah.
And they've got it. There's a dude. It looks like my malleolus about to just smack the floor. Like that thing's rolled so far inside. But yeah, so a lot of runners have pretty poor ankle mobility, and that leads to such a forward position that your arms are just giving out at the deltoids because you're having to grip the ball and hold it forward. So first thing is like, can you get your positioning better to where you can sit really far back in your heels and you're not having to do any basically forward like flexion. I started doing a lot of front squatting, a lot of squat cleans, and a ton of like overhead pressing, just push jerks, stuff like that.
I love that.
And I felt say it what?
You're not just doing more ball balls.
I'm not.
You know, like if you speak to anyone in a gym who's like a Hyrox coach, they'll go, every time you train, just do 50 wall balls at the end.
No. So what you need to do is like do strength work that's focused on a front rack squatting position.
Yeah.
And then when you do wall balls, you need to do them under fatigue, like race level fatigue. So you should separate those kind of sessions. Like I can do a wall ball centric strength session and I might never touch a wall ball.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to make sure that I've done wall balls at the end of hard sessions under a ton of fatigue, because like the hardest part sometimes is just being able to supply enough oxygen to both your quads and your shoulders, like to circulate blood to two areas that are getting taxed vastly, but they're so far apart. We've done some of the stuff I did with Nike was we had muscle oxygenation sensors like on my quads while I was doing these kind of things. And you see that when I kind of got buried that day, I had to break like 3 times. And like my muscle ox levels in my quads were just, 3-4%. Like it was terrible. It's a lot of different things. It's mobility, it's strength, it's work capacity, and it can't be fixed by just doing 50 wall balls at the end of your session. Like,
yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Well, you've transitioned from a running background, and we've said on this podcast that you're not built like some of the guys, but you moved this 202 kilo sled. There would have been some adaptations required from you. So what was that transition like? How did you do that?
That's one where I actually say just do sleds. Like that's one where I believe that your best way to actually improve those stations is to just really hammer the specificity of heavy sleds. So you work 2 things. You work really, really heavy sleds at times, and then you work high capacity sleds.
Would you go like overweight, like you do?
Oh,
like
tons. There'd be times where I'd be pushing sleds that if they were if they were in the race competition, it'd be a competition is 300 kg. Like we'd have to go really, really heavy. So that kind of stuff.
I don't think I can move that.
I mean, like really heavy sleds. To get to the point where you can just handle them well. Because there's not many. You could do box squats to a degree.
Yeah,
those can kind of help. That helps because going like super heavy deep squats, that's just not the range of motion that you're producing power out of. So you almost want to do like how a cyclist would train in terms of like a sprint cyclist. Like what are they doing? Because if you look at like the knee flexion angle that you're getting in cycling, that's going to be pretty close to what you're doing when you're pushing the sled. So all of that like shortened range of motion, heavy weight, high force output, that kind of stuff can
leg press stuff.
Leg press is not. Like, I don't mind leg press.
Yeah.
I'll do like a staggered leg press.
Yeah.
And I'll do a certain number of reps with like the toe of the bottom foot is at there. So I'll do some staggered leg press. I'll do some box squatting, both front and back. And then for just like explosive power stuff, I do like to do like power cleans, hang power cleans, or hang cleans, just anything like that. And I feel like that actually helps a little bit more for the burpees, for being able force production from the legs to be able to jump. So yeah, sleds is just.
So me and Brad have done a few sessions together, and actually, like it's good fun. But burpees, mate. Runners, triathletes, we're not good at burpees. There's no power.
They're not. I'm so surprised by that too. Like,
I was surprised. I was like, "Whoa, this is so tough."
For such a fast guy as well, it's kind of embarrassing.
Brad's like looking at me. He's like, "Finish the length," and I'm like halfway, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
that has been the thing that did surprise me the most. I was like, because I came from a running background, but in all honesty, I was in the wrong sport. I should have been a rower.
Okay. Yeah, like power.
That's what I should have done, but we didn't. Like, I came from a town with 2,000 people. We didn't have a fucking rowboat. Like, I didn't see a erg till I was 20 something. I didn't know about that stuff. Like, but then once I started rowing, I was like, oh, I'm probably better suited for this than I am for running.
Have you found it like quite easy when you came from running into Hyrox to put muscle on, like to put the strength on?
Yeah, it wasn't that hard. I mean, like, I'm still small. Like, I'm not a big.
Yeah, because you're one of the. I'd say you are one of the.
I think I'm the lightest. I'm 75 kilograms. Like,
no
you know, yeah, I'm 75 kg and I'm about 188.
I think that had anything to do with things.
What, being light?
Being lighter, yeah. Because what's Tim? Nah. Tim must be close.
Probably 78.
Yeah, okay.
He's a little heavier than I am. We've talked before, and unless he lost weight.
You must be taller than Tim.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So Tim's not as short as people think.
No, dude, Tim's not short. Tim's like, if we're talking centimeters, he's probably 185, 186.
Oh, okay. So
that's not short at all.
That's not short at all.
I'd love to be that tall. What do you mean?
No. Tim's not short. Well, that's why he puts on muscle so easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to remember what.
No, it's fine. What's next for you in terms of so you're world champion.
Yep.
You don't have the world record, but again, I think there's an element of sort of the location that plays into the world record. I don't know what you think about that.
You're not wrong. There absolutely is.
The Warsaw one feels
short course.
That felt short, right? That just felt exceptional.
Dude, it was the best conditions you could have ever raced in, though. It was
cool.
It was 12 or 13 degrees.
Wow. Okay.
And it was dry, and it was a fast. Like, I thought that the record that got set in London, I was like, dude, nobody's breaking that for a long. And then 2 months later, gone.
Yeah.
Like,
Resma got 52:40 or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he went. So Hidda went 52:42, and then I was like, dude, nobody's going 52:42. And then we go to Warsaw, and I go 52:40, and I'm like, well, that's got. But Ronco goes 51:59. So it's like, it's just insane when it's cold. Like, I've never raced in a venue that cold. How fast you can go.
Yeah.
Like, because nothing slowed down for anybody. And so I don't know if Warsaw was short, because here's the weird thing. The next day, the doubles races, they weren't that fast. Like, no world records got broken on the men's side. I think it might have gotten broken on the women's, but like the men's world record didn't even touch London.
I think the women's is different though, isn't it? Because they're getting better. Like, women, the capacity of the females is getting better, like sort of year on year, quite quickly. Like, the men are getting towards that. You guys are still getting better, but it's like the women's is quicker.
I agree. Their rate of improvement has been a lot more. But
do you ever do any heat training?
Yeah, most mornings when I'm on the bike, I'll wear layers. Like, I'll normally have on a jacket, and I'll have on pants. And that normally will bump my heart rate up, 10, 15 beats.
Do you ever do any passive stuff? Like, obviously there's loads of
sauna.
Wow, yeah. So there's loads of papers coming out at the moment. It's big. Where like
the one that I recently saw, it was like 5 days a week, 45 minutes, and like 104 degrees or something like that. Yeah. I haven't, dude. Where I live at now, it's so hot all the damn time. Like, the bigger thing that I try to do is like stay hydrated, because I'll drop. I had a day the other day where I lost like 12 pounds from training throughout the day.
Jeez.
It was ridiculous. I had gotten up and I was 76 kg, and by the time I got done and it was time for dinner, I had been eating and drinking all day. I dropped down to like 71, and I was like, I gotta put fluids back, because I was just.
He's like, I need a Hyrox race and my shirt off because I'm looking lean.
Someone get a picture of me right now. Yeah,
quick,
dude. No, at that point, it's not lean; it's emaciated. Yeah. I was like, never mind. Like,
prisoner of war.
I didn't have a carb left in me. I was gone. Yeah. But yeah, so the heat training around here is just like, dude, go outside, train in the heat.
Daily.
Like, it's
that's right.
Yeah. It's but during the winter time, that would probably not be a bad thing, to try
I'm
to
just
implement
thinking,
some
yeah,
of.
like because obviously most Hyrox races are probably they're probably like 20 degrees or more
Yeah,
inside inside. So yeah, it's
yeah.
just yeah, like there's a study going on at my university at the moment. So I'm doing a PhD. My
Okay.
PhD is on ketones.
Okay. Yep.
So, but they literally the study, it's crazy. It's about hot baths, the protocol. But to be part of the study, you have to have the person come round to your house and watch you have a hot bath.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you've been missold, Dan.
No, I am not part of the study, but it put me off a little bit. But it's to prove that you can do like heat training at home, like a protocol. But it's gaining a lot of traction at the moment.
Is that part of your coaching service?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'll write your program. I'll watch you take a bath. Like,
It's weird. He's got no clients. It's really
yeah,
odd. Yeah,
it's not
take it off. at all, yeah.
they're all on board until he gets to the bath part. And they're like,
yeah. This is a bit weird.
yeah.
Oh,
That's funny, guys.
We've debated on this show before about just how fast you men might go one day. It got flirted with, I think, a little bit after Warsaw, that 50-minute mark. How realistic is that to you, do you think? So, someone who's now at the top of the sport, like, how realistic do you think that is?
So if it is if it's a 8.7K, with the running and the rock zone, if that's what we cover, which is what it's supposed to be, and if there's no changes in the equipment or everything like that, I think it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it's going to be a while because like it's not going to be me. I won't be the one that breaks 50. Like,
it's so humble, honestly.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Like, me, but yeah.
Well, dude, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know where I'm finding 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
It's a lot. Like, it's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
I look at the race and I'm like, well, damn, I can find maybe a minute on a great day. Like maybe I could find a minute when I look at everything. But I'm like, where's the other minute 40 coming from? It's not.
Yeah.
So, is it possible humanly? I'm sure it is. Because like I look at myself and I'm like, I'm not that impressive of an athlete. I'm okay. But if I'm that close to it, you're going to have some freak because I'm not a freak. I'm good, but I'm not a freak. You're going to have a freak that's going to have trained for this their whole life. And they're going to come out and they're going to be able to express a level of, genetics that nobody has shown yet.
So Tour de France on Thursday. It was the fastest stage ever.
Yeah, I saw that.
The fastest stage ever. Pogacar
31.3 or 0.1. It like
miles an hour. Miles. It's like 50k an hour basically. And Pogacar is like a freak.
Oh,
He does what he wants.
Yep.
That'll happen in Hyrox at some point. Like I bet you can go sub 50 if you took the fastest of everybody's. If everybody, like everybody can do the station at a certain speed, and that would go sub 50. If you get what I mean. If you took the fastest sled.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, the fastest row, the fastest.
I don't know if that does exist. Actually, I'm not sure.
What? As in,
I don't know. I'm not even sure.
We should go do that. We should look at the fastest splits for everything that has ever been done.
No one's ever looked at that. Yeah,
in an elite race.
Yeah, that would probably come to very close to 50, and that only just takes one person to be good. Someone who has some 15-year-old kid now, who for the next 10 years, as Hyrox is improving more and more, just dedicates his life to it. Because don't forget, you guys are great at it, but you didn't train for it when you were 15.
No.
So it's going to take that. It's going to take like a Pogacar whose his whole life has just been like basically in a test tube, just basically getting there. Yeah. So I think it will happen. I think, it's just the way it is, sub 2 in the marathon, no one saw Sare doing what they did in London. I got a feeling there's other things at play, but we won't talk about those.
Here, let me grab my charger real quick.
That's cool.
Because I definitely, so what you're about to bring up, with doping and drugs and everything like that. It's definitely a worry. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's not. And we've at least seen some doping controls being implemented.
Yeah, you've started to do it, but then even I got to be honest, you can have the best doping controls in the world. I just think it will still happen.
Dude, absolutely, because it still happens in every sport that has the best doping controls in the world.
Yeah.
And we don't have the best doping controls in the world. In competition testing, when it's going to happen as long as you finish like top 3. Well, it's an IQ test at that point. Like,
Yeah, it's
like,
yeah. So it only takes one person, doesn't it, to be great? And I do think it will happen. It might not happen soon, but it'll happen. I think it'll be
yeah,
something.
I think it's
Yeah,
definitely achievable, but it's not nearly as close as people think, and it's not going to
yeah.
be any name that you currently see
No, I
competing.
agree. Yeah, I
Like,
do agree. Yeah,
it will be none of us. It'll be decades on it. My thought is that it might happen. Like, it could happen by 2040. You know, give it a whole cycle of athletes to come
yeah,
around, and 15 years from now, then and this is also predicated on things not changing in the sport. You
yes,
know, because the sport got so my first race I ever ran, I was like 65 high. But what we used to do, the sled type, the
I
carpet
think
type,
the first one you ever did was
5 minutes.
105. That's
yeah.
crazy,
But the
isn't
thing,
it?
yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing, like I won that race. It was a pro race. My first race was a pro race. I won
No
that
way.
race.
No way.
That's
And
a flex. That is. There's some aura points there. Yeah.
well, the only
First
okay,
race I ever
so
did, I won, and I was a pro.
Sounds like you, mate. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like.
but here's the thing. Well, the loss of war points is because I ran an extra lap in that race too, so I didn't know how to count. So I goofed that up. So there's at least the stupidity side. But if you look at that, and let's say that I raced my first race now, if you took the different equipment that we use, I would probably go like 62 something.
Okay,
So there's been a
just based
3 minute
on
swing
just based on tech.
just because of that kind of stuff has changed. Um, and so I don't know if something else, because it used to be like if you pushed a sled in 4.5 minutes and you pulled a sled in 4.5 minutes, you were in the race. Like, you're not having a bad day.
Yeah,
You're like, there are races that I did pretty well in, and I pushed like 431. If you push 431 now, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna lose 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes. So if no equipment changes happen and it stays the same format, which I really hope it does, um, then yeah, it's gonna take 15 years. If something swings one way or the other, it becomes a heavier sport again because it used to be a much heavier sport. Um, then it's gonna slow it down, the progression of it.
Yeah, we've already
So we have to
seen
take.
the wall balls for the women change from 75 to 100, didn't it? In this cycle.
Yeah, that ended up changing with like the open. Yeah, but I think that they've pretty much at this point like started if especially if you're going to start making an Olympic play, you're going to have to stop messing around with
yeah,
things
it's got to stay the same. Yeah,
because like I've seen, 2022 Las Vegas, 1 hour before the race, they made a decision to take a plate off of the sleds. Like, this was happening at World Championships 1 hour before. They were like,
was
the
that like
sleds aren't moving.
was that like a bit of a CrossFit
It,
thing,
wa-
or
it
like
was.
because they just do stuff on the fly, don't they?
Yeah, so it was very much, hey, the sleds aren't moving like they normally are supposed to move. And I think that it's a plate difference. We're pulling a plate off. Like, so it's just funny because I've gotten to see all of these different
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
Of course,
like
yeah.
as stuff has evolved and people look at what the product is now and they're like, oh, it'll never make it to an Olympic product. I'm like, dog, the first race that I did was in a hotel ballroom. Like, trust me, I know where we've been and where we are.
We're doing well. It's going well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's all that, but yeah, somebody's gonna break 50. I
Yeah.
just don't know who.
Just
Just
not in
don't
this
know who.
current
Yeah.
crop of breed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
You've
be
got all that-
super surprised.
All that
Say that
fancy
again?
white equipment now for the elite.
Yeah, and the
They got-
white. I like the white stuff. The white stuff.
Yeah.
This year it's stepped up it's massive this year.
It
This
looks
year's been
gorgeous
huge.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
been
think it's
huge.
only gonna get better. Like,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think it's only going to get better for the next couple of years. It's still on that. It hasn't gotten close to its plateau yet. And then
I
if it
agree.
catches the actual Olympic cycle, then that gives it another run for 3-4 more years, like,
Yeah.
of growth.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy to be a part of it. Honestly, dude, great, right time, right place, kind of deal.
Yeah.
You never know. This might be the Olympics for you then next time.
Yeah, that'd be insane. To be
Imagine an
honest,
Olympic gold medalist Dylan Scott. I mean, it sounds good.
dude, it sounds great. Sounds great.
It sounds good to me.
Thing of dreams,
Like-
eh?
Like, and that would be it. I'm at the point now where I've already exceeded everything I thought I could do athletically. Like,
Yeah.
I got so much farther past that where I'm at the stage where I go, well, then why the hell couldn't? Why couldn't I?
Why not? Yeah,
It's like,
why not?
I didn't think I'd be here. Why,
Yeah.
like, why can't I potentially be an Olympian for the US in 2032 and
Excellent.
maybe win? Like, will I? Odds are very low.
I mean, you made it on this podcast. I mean, that's pretty epic.
It's up there. I'm having to rearrange my like greatest moments in life where it's like
goals, you know, childbirth, marriage,
and then Ask the Coach podcast. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
cool.
Dylan, I've had an amazing
it's been great, mate.
time having you with us. And honestly, kudos to you for jumping on. We
thank you so much, mate.
Massively.
Really appreciate it.
Hope you've enjoyed it too.
Dude, I've loved it, man. I've had a really good time. I'm thankful for coming on. I'm glad that you no longer dislike me being world champion.
Oh no, he still dislikes you. It was a good chat.
I've already ordered my I Love Dylan top, so that's on its way. Just to be clear. Yeah.
Dude, just let me know what that costs you. I'll cover it. Like, you're good. You're good.
We'll have to get you on after next season.
Dude, it'd be great. It'd be great to get on and actually like talk. I know this has just been kind of chit chat, talking over all kinds of stuff, but talk like some real coaching stuff and different things. Because I'm sure that there's a lot that I could learn from you guys. Like, I'll tell you this. Most of the time, I don't listen to Hyrox pods or coaching pods or anything like that because my brain's in it so much.
Yeah,
I'm interested to listen to this. I'm interested to listen to you guys. Like that's going to get into my rotation now to listen to you guys. So,
mate, well, that's good enough for me.
Well, we love that. Thank you so much, mate. I look forward to the subscription from you.
Okay.
Cheers, dude.
And we'll definitely get you back on in the future, mate.
Yeah. Dude, sounds great. You guys have a good rest of your day.
Cheers, thanks, mate. And you. See you in a bit.
Thanks, fellas.